howling like we've never, ever experienced before.
Now at 5, a hurricane's wrath and horror in Texas. We're monitoring 2 top national stories as Dorian pummels the Bahamas and as Midland's death toll rises after this weekend's mass shooting.
I thought that if I couldn't get my car moving, that I would be shot.
We'll have the latest on both developing situations. Meanwhile, here at home, a woman shot to death outside a Salem bar, and weeks later, her family pleads for help finding her killer. Barricade collapse, dozens injured at Seattle's popular Bumbershoot Music Festival. The moment it happens, caught on camera, and warnings about the risks still tied to our late summer heat.
Water does some strange things. It's very powerful.
Crews tonight searching for a woman who went missing on the Willamette. This as trails continue to reopen 2 years after the Eagle Creek fire ravaged the gorge. Tonight, on this holiday weekend, reminders to stay safe while enjoying the outdoors. The news at 5 starts now. And we start tonight with the dangerous Category 5 hurricane barreling down on the Bahamas and heading toward the southeastern coast of the U.S. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maggie Vespa. Right now, Dorian is the most powerful storm to hit the Bahamas since 1935. And right now, it's too late for people to evacuate from low-lying islands. Those on the ground say the situation is dire, with anywhere from 18 to 22 feet of storm surge in certain areas. And for those in Florida through the Carolinas, it's a preview of what could happen.
It's just been building out there. It's been moving very slowly. It's a bad thing, not a good thing. The slower it moves, the bigger it is and the bigger it gets.
President Trump there. The big question is, what path will this storm take? It's expected to make a turn to the north, hugging the U.S. coastline. And with that, let's bring in KGW meteorologist Joe Ranieri. He's been tracking this massive storm in the Weather Center. And Joe, experts calling this catastrophic.
Exactly right, Maggie. A pretty monster of a storm. Probably one of the biggest we've seen in the Atlantic so far this summer and throughout the hurricane season. Right now, wind speeds 185 miles per hour. Some of the gusts at one point earlier this morning clocked in about 200 miles per hour. Here's a look at where we're at right now. This is the satellite and radar. It's just been sitting over much of the Bahamas the entire day. I worked the morning shift earlier today, and it really hasn't moved a whole lot. Moving from the west about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So here's a look as we put this into motion. You can see right now a Category 5 storm, 185 mile per hour winds coming into the west at 5 miles per hour. As we put this into motion, it's going to stay at a Category 5 here the next 12 to 18 hours. And it starts to move a little bit closer to the United States, especially on the east coast of Florida, hitting Daytona Beach. Some of the outer bands of the winds will be hitting parts of Daytona Beach and Jacksonville. But to give you an idea just how big and nasty this storm is, it remains a hurricane the entire week. Here we are by late Friday night by Friday afternoon, it will still remain at a Category 1 storm, and it's just going to be continuing to grow in strength because the current ocean surface temperatures around are at 80, 85 miles per hour. So as we put the future cast into motion, as I was talking about just how slow moving it is, here we are late tonight. It doesn't move a whole lot over the next 12 to 18 hours. You can kind of start to see some of those outer bands arriving on the east coast of Florida by late tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. But you'll notice the eye of the hurricane really doesn't move a whole lot over the next couple of days. Only this is one model. This is called the spaghetti model. So far, most models are holding steady to where the projected path is going to go. A lot of them having just kind of go north a little bit before pushing off to the east. But this is a storm we're going to be keeping track of, not just tonight, but over the next several days. And like I said, it's going to be remaining a hurricane over the next 5 to 6 days. I'll talk more about your local forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, we appreciate the update. Thank you.
I feel so lucky that I was not hurt, and I'm so sad inside because I knew what was coming towards people and I couldn't help them.
Heartbreak and horror as Texas comes to grips with another mass shooting. The death toll in the West Texas cities of Odessa and Midland has now risen to 7. 21 more people were hurt when a gunman opened fire, first from a car and then from a stolen mail truck after he killed, police say, a letter carrier. Police killed the gunman, 36-year-old Seth Ator, in a shootout. 3 officers were hurt in that rampage, and now they're trying to figure out why he did this.
Please understand this is a different type of active shooter that we were involved with because he was mobile.
Police say the gunman had a criminal record and used an AR-15 style rifle. How he got it is still under investigation. And it's worth noting, starting today, new state laws take effect that make gun restrictions in Texas more lenient. Well, back here at home, police are investigating the third shooting this week at the same house in Northeast Portland. 3 this week, 1 house. Police say a man walked into Legacy Emanuel with a gunshot wound this afternoon. That led officers to a home on Northeast 78th Avenue near Everett, where they say they found evidence of a shooting. And early yesterday morning, police say shots were also fired into that home, but no one was hurt. Also, last Tuesday, officers responded to a shooting there as well. Police are investigating to see if all of these shootings are indeed related. Well, family and friends of a Salem woman who was shot and killed 2 weeks ago today are still searching for answers in this case. Around 1:30 in the morning on August 18th, police say 40-year-old Jennifer Black and a man were shot outside Pine Street Pub in Salem. The man survived, but Jenny did not. Police searched the area but have not been able to find their shooter. KGW's Brittany Falkers joins us now from River Road City Park in Kaiser, where friends and family, Brittany, are celebrating Jennifer's life today.
That's right, Maggie. They tell me it has been an excruciating 2 weeks since they lost Jenny. And today they're gathering here to share memories of the woman that they call a Spitfire. They're trying to keep her name and memory alive in hopes of finding her killer and the answers that they're so desperately searching for.
We don't want Jenny's name to go away. We need it to stay alive.
Jerry Towery shared mementos of her friend Jennifer Black at a celebration of her life on Sunday.
Incorporate something of Jenny in everything that we put out there. And made it her style and her little bling bling.
Little pieces of her friend who was shot and killed outside a bar in Salem 2 weeks ago.
We have questions. We want to know and we want justice.
Without a suspect in custody, Jenny's friends and family are left wondering, waiting for answers as to why.
She was just so alive. I kind of thought of her as my roller coaster child. So you wanted to catch her on the top of the roller coaster.
The pain of Jenny's death is especially hard for her mom, Christine Mayhew.
How did this happen? How do we as a society allow this to happen?
The two had become estranged over the years. Jenny had struggled with addiction, but Jerry says that she was working to overcome those issues, and Christine hoped they'd be able to reconnect soon.
We just miss her terribly. She had challenges in life, and we had some communication issues, and we weren't able to resolve them, and that was really hard. And yet we know from her friends that she was on her way to doing that.
But someone with a gun took that chance away from her, from Jenny's 2 children, and all of her friends here at the celebration of life today.
It's been really difficult for our family. We would like to know why she was killed. We would like to know who killed her. And we would like to see them face justice.
Since Jenny's death, Christine and Jerry have become close, sharing their grief and searching for justice for Jenny together.
She's going to be missed because she was such a good person.
And here at the celebration of life today, friends and family are being asked to write memories of Jenny on rocks that Jerry and Christine will then bring to flower gardens in their own homes in honor of Jenny. Meanwhile, I did speak to Salem police today, who tell me that this is still a very active and ongoing investigation, but they couldn't release any new details right now. If you have any information on the shooting that happened on August 18th, please contact Salem police. Back to you, Maggie.
Yeah, I would just love to get some answers for that family. Brittany Falkers live for us. Brittany, thank you. Well, a woman who just wanted to go floating with her friends on the Willamette River, like so many do, went missing yesterday, and crews still can't find her. And in fact, now they've switched the search to a recovery mission. Her name is Tracy Allen. She's 37 and she's from Vancouver, and her friends say they were all tethered together on their tubes floating just south of Independence when the group hit the root ball, they say, of a tree, and their tubes flipped over. Everyone got to shore except for Allen. Crews from multiple agencies were out yesterday and today searching by boat, by drone, and by helicopter. And they tell us Allen was wearing a life jacket, and they say she knows how to swim. Still, they know the current there can be really strong, and they're worried.
Water does some strange things. It's very powerful. The main thing is she was wearing a life jacket. Obviously that's not 100%, just same as seat belts. What I can tell you is our folks out there are working really hard right now to make sure that we do the best job we possibly can, using the resources we have to get those answers for the family.
Lieutenant Newman says snags in the water have made this search especially tough, and they had to call in specialized teams, and they add they are in touch with Alan's family. Well, now to a large property in rural Marion County where a 5-year-old boy was hit and killed by a vehicle. This happened last night around 9, just south of Woodburn. Deputies say there was a big gathering happening at that property, and medics tried to save the little boy, but he died at the scene. Deputies say the driver is cooperating. We don't know his name at this point, and they say they don't think alcohol was involved. That's the moment a barrier collapsed at a big music festival in Seattle. Dozens in the crowd were hurt there. Some were trampled. The festival is called Bumbershoot, and it happened during one of the performances last night. It's so crazy to watch that video. 4 of the injured were taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, none of their injuries were too serious, so they've all been released at this point. Still, this cell phone video obtained by our sister station in Seattle shows the moments that electronic artist Jai Wolf took the stage. We're told he greeted the crowd and people just surged forward, causing a 4-foot steel barrier to collapse. Fans in the front were knocked down and trampled, and the rest of the show was canceled. It's now been rescheduled for tonight. The show tweeting a new barrier has been installed and inspected.